I was down here to set up for a show that we were going to host an after party here after the Stone Temple Pilots concert. We had a DJ coming in from Fort St. John to set up for a show. So I was on my way down here, and to my surprise, apparently there's no show.
So tell us, what would it mean to you? Of course, obviously the building is a write-off.
Oh my God.
What does it mean to you and the community?
That's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. We were just starting to build a beautiful music culture and a scene, and now we've lost that. Like, that's just absolutely horrible. Not to mention the horrible fact that we've lost now a historical building that's been here for years. That was an icon in Dawson Creek. I can't believe it. I'm in shock.
Thank you.
5 o'clock this afternoon, unconfirmed reports say that it was discovered by a female employee in the basement. Crews have been on scene since about 10 after 5. More and more have been arriving as the night has gone on. The crowd has increased as well.
LM.
And I understand you were supposed to open a business here?
Yeah, we were going to open a Mexican restaurant and a cafe.
So how does it feel watching that basically?
Absolutely horrible. Not just for me, but I think of Charles and his wife. I mean, 45 years. And then a lot of people had a lot of firsts in that building.
So it's emotional watching it go down?
Oh, yeah. And I hear a lot of people laughing and joking, and it's like, it's not funny. We and my husband planned a future there. People had their entire lives in that building.
I just can't believe it. It's the second time around in a year.
And the first time it happened, your building was all right, correct?
Well, I had to have a lot of repairs done. The roof and the wall, and you don't want to know the furnace, and it's hurt business because people think we're not open. Still, people come in and say, "You guys are finally open." You know, even though we only had to be shut for a week or so, but I don't know what this is going to do. You know, I just feel like we're just recouping and just getting back to normal.
So concerned to walk into your building?
Yeah. But we'll see.
Well, I wish you luck. Thank you. I'm sorry.
We sayonara brass scissors, and it was okay, so I really don't know.
So you actually work at Brass Scissors?
Yeah, I work right in there.
Okay.
We were there when the fire crews came and said, oh, not this again, right? So let's get the cash in the box, grab your cell phones, grab whatever you need, and let's get the hell out of here. So we went to White Spa, which is where we went last time, and kind of convened, but kind of horrifying and kind of like traumatizing in a way, you know? You're still kind of afraid from what happened last time, and then we kind of have a sense of humor about it, I guess. We're trying to keep each other in good spirits, and what can you do?
And walk me through a little bit from the point in time you heard you had to get out. What happened? What was the energy like around you?
Well, it was actually fairly calm. You know, we heard the fire truck, and that was our first indicator. That sounds like it's next door. So we look outside, and you know, you see the smoke coming. You don't know if it's a localized central small fire that's just a little bit out of control. It was on the far side, so we weren't, you know, and there wasn't a whole bunch of black billowing smoke like there was for Wildcat. So we thought, okay, we have a little bit of time. We kind of collected the money from our last patron who was just on her way out of the door, and nobody else was in there but staff. So then we said, okay, we got to get out of here. And then the guy said, okay, you got to get out of here. And we're like, okay, we got to move on, and we're already on the way out. So I don't know. We just kind of calmly collected ourselves.
And so
like,
tell me,
what can you do?
Did everyone get out all right? Everyone's okay from your business?
Yeah, everyone's okay. Everyone's okay. Like 3 of us have asthma, and we're not even doing too bad. So that was the only thing. It's just frightening. And I said, why didn't I loot the place? No.
Okay, and I understand you were in the Alaska.
I was about, just a little over 2 hours ago, actually. Sitting with a friend and just chatting about a job that we were working on.
So walk me through kind of what happened.
Well, I really don't know very much about it at all. I just know that the barmaid mentioned that she thought she smelled smoke. And so she said she had gone and checked in the kitchen and checked something else, and I didn't smell anything, but pretty soon I left, and the next thing you know, I got a couple phone calls saying that it was on fire.
Okay, so you weren't actually there?
No.
You left and came back?
Well, I left, and now I've just come back to see, because somebody phoned me and said that it's burnt almost to the ground already, and I'm like, wow.
So are you a resident of Dawson Creek, or were you staying in the Alaska?
No.
Have you lived here a long time?
Yes, very long.
So what's going through you as you watch this landmark crumble?
Well, that's the thing that bothers me is, you know, it's a It's a historic hotel that's been here for a very, very long time, and many people come from far and wide to see it, you know. And when the cafe was open and stuff, again, it was very well known about, you know.
So a little tough to watch tonight.
Yeah. Kind of got the shakes a little bit here.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You did very well, thank you.
And then go for a pan to the policeman.
I had everybody else.
At 5 p.m. Friday evening that a fire had been discovered in the basement of the hotel.
We did manage to get a team in and go into the basement. The basement was fully full of smoke, so they couldn't really see the seat of the fire. And so they spent just a few minutes in there, and then they were called out. By the time that they got back out of the building, which was just a few short minutes, then the fire had gone to a point where we just went to a defensive fire.
A defensive fire means that the firefighters are no longer fighting to save that building, but to protect the ones around it. Smith says it's not an easy decision to make.
It's a tough one, but I mean, it's one that has to be made, and that's the incident commanders have to do that, all over the world when they're fighting fires, is it comes to a point where you say we cannot save this building anymore. We have to do what we can do to save the surrounding buildings. And so that's the decision that was made by the incident commander, and that incident commander made every right call from start to finish on that fire.
Around 8 p.m., Brass Scissors was also on fire. Smith says that the chemicals in the building made it more difficult to fight that fire.
There was at one point there where we heard lots of popping and banging from, I would assume, aerosol cans and stuff like that. It did add a bit to the destruction of the building, because, like I say, those things are usually have flammable liquids in them.
Well, it has been confirmed that the fire started in the basement of the hotel. Smith says they're not 100% sure what caused the blaze. The owners of the hotel also own the home that was destroyed early Friday morning. Smith says there is no reason to believe that they're connected right now.
Once we investigate, we'll be able to figure out what caused the fire. We have the witness statement, the lady that called it in, plus our firefighters. What they first saw went in. So we have a lot of, witness statements saying that what happened. So it'll help us with the investigation. It'll help us point us in the right direction. And then once we get through that, we'll be able to make a determination, hopefully. With this kind of damage, it makes it difficult.
It's business as usual in downtown Dawson Creek, with the exception of 3 missing buildings. The atmosphere is very calm today as the cleanup begins, but was very different Friday night.
You can appreciate the fact that I think for the entire community, no matter what you thought of this facility, how long you've been in the community, this is a huge loss for the citizens of Dawson Creek. I mean, obviously for the owners of Brass Scissors, the Alaska Hotel and Cafe, our hearts go out to them. This is a devastation for them. But I really think that a lot of people in the city of Dawson Creek felt a lot of personal ownership for the Alaska Hotel and Pub, because there's a lot of memories. This has been here, since about 1930. So this has been one of the oldest buildings in the city of Dawson Creek, and with that comes a lot of history, a lot of memories, and it's something that will never be replaced.
A lot of people think, Dawson Creek, it has the Alaska Highway, but, as tourism Dawson Creek, we want people to stay in Dawson Creek. We want people to understand what it's about to live here, what it's about to experience here. Get a coffee, eat a cupcake, what it's like to really experience what it is. And, the Alaska Hotel was an anchor to bring people downtown. And that's such a hard thing to do. If you have a visitor center that's on the highway, a lot of people want to jump in their vehicle, jump out, and then get back on the road. They don't really want to sort of venture far away from that sort of main transportation route. So for us, the Alaska Hotel was a way to be like, hey, it's only 55 paces from the Mile Zero post. Get your photo of the Mile Zero post, and then go, get a drink as you drop in, or, get a picture with the iconic building. And, even on a greater scheme, you know, the reason Charles had this amazing building that looked sort of iconic to a time frame was because it linked to the gold rush. Yes, Dawson Creek wasn't a part of the gold rush, but the trail to the gold rush was so important. So for us, as a larger tourism region, it created a link between BC and the Yukon as well. So it is really sad, it is, and there was so much history in the building alone, like, you know, Charles and Heidi's family memorabilia and artwork, and, you know, it's just, it's really unfortunate.
I think the favorite Alaska hotel memory that I had is when I first came to Dawson Creek. As a fire chief, I went in there and I did a tour with the owner, and he showed me all the floors, all the rooms that are normally locked, all those, and that's the stuff that I kind of fell in love with. You know, he had the same decor as it was the era that the building was built. So that's the memory that I'll have forever.
I actually got a personal tour. I got a personal tour of the Alaska Hotel by Charles himself. He took me through, you know, obviously do drop in, but I'm new to Dawson Creek, so I never saw the cafe. But he brought me in and he showed me everything that was in there.
You know, we're now in my office. This is my sort of inner sanctum, you might say. This is at the heart of Deluxe Evolutionary Resources. And now we're going to move to the chaplain bathroom. Well, we're now in the chaplain bathroom. Now this is the hallway and, in the office of Deluxe Evolutionary Resources. Well, now we're in the kind of photocopy room, graphic studio, and there's a nice picture of Valdi and Johnny Cashin, one of our other musicians. And oh, here's a nice old poster that you probably will remember from the old days. And so this is just kind of a studio space. Mike Malcolm and Vincent's dog poster, and then our photocopier, and there's a really nice picture of me, the one that's on the Facebook with one of Carl Chaplin's pieces taken at his studio. Yeah, we're now moving into my library and the center where we kind of do some of the computer work and emails and print some things, and then we move into another part of the library, music room, whatever you want to call it, the only probably Renaissance painting in Dawson Creek. And now we're in one of the other offices, which is kind of the, well, this is the back end of the PosiTouch system, which is the point of sale system, and there's a monitor there for kind of being able to film things. And oh, there's a nice, wonderful Brain Eater, Jim Cummings picture, and various other kind of things that make up the trip here. We're now just looking at the hallway from the other end, and as we are leaving, this Deluxe Evolutionary Resources, which of course you can't see properly on that brass plate. Going out the door, we sort of come to the top of the stairways, to just a landing, and at the end of the hallway here there is a kind of little sitting room lobby area, and then over here is an office. Michael Malcolm painting, the toilet. Yeah, now we're just kind of panning around the room, there's the pool table that I told you about. And now we're just going upstairs to the 3rd floor. And there's not too much to see. This is just the hallway. These are where most of the residential rooms are. There's a little kind of common room, which could be the breakfast nook at a nice situation, but anyway. Now we're going down from the office floor. We've descended from the 3rd floor back to that landing. My grandmother, great-grandparents, and down to what used to be the lobby and the outside, and then a door into the pub. I don't know how much you can see here. It's kind of dark. We're now, in the pub, facing the stage and the dance floor, and I'm kind of moving around, and there you can see the bar itself, and then there's another part. Well, we're now looking at one wall of the bar, and we're getting a closer view of the bar area, being inside. And now I'm going into the pool room and a little kind of a games room that needs a light bulb fixed or a balustrade placed. And now we're just going back the other way, and there's the bar from this end. And here are our nice little dual munchkins and their reservoir in the furnace room. That's the doorway into the cafe, and that's where we're going right now. So this is the Alaska Cafe, walking down towards the kitchen. Dining area. And we'll go into the kitchen next. Now I'm looking from the kitchen door out into the dining area. To my right and left there are the bathrooms. Now we're into the kitchen, and the tenants have recently departed and we're not quite together yet, plus we had some freezing.
Actually, Shorty told me a story that he was so sad that he lost all the guns that were in the building because they were so iconic as well. So I think everyone has an Alaska hotel story.
Wow, my favorite Alaska hotel memory would be probably shortly after I moved here. I was still going out making friends, and I think it was just a great place to sit down and get to know people of Dawson Creek, and just to sit in a venue and just chat with people and talk about the history of the community. And when you looked around the Alaska Hotel, at any time, what you saw was the history of Dawson Creek, and that's probably going to be a memory that I'll always have, and unfortunately, new people to Dawson Creek will never be able to experience that.